That inauguration in Washington will take place this Thursday. And then Joe Biden faces the daunting task of healing a divided nation. Coming up on ABC News Sunday, how he says he plans to do that.
I'm Greg Jennett in Washington, where the White House is about to get new occupants. Tonight, we'll take a look at Joe Biden, who's about to get one of the toughest jobs in the world and in his long public life.
So help me God.
That special report coming up. In these tense final days of the Trump administration, attention's been deflected a little from the next incoming US president. As a senator and vice president, Joe Biden has spent almost 50 years working in, around or with the White House. On Thursday, he moves in. As the new commander-in-chief, he'll inherit crises on multiple fronts, pulling a nation out of the darkest of winters, healing deepening racial wounds and restoring America's tarnished reputation on the world stage. It's a tough road ahead, and it'll play out against the backdrop of the despair and rage of supporters still loyal to his predecessor. So, can Joe Biden shoulder the burdens of office and the challenges that await him? Correspondent Greg Jennett has tonight's special report.
I've made over 8,200 round trips, over 2,100,000 miles on Amtrak.
Much of an adult life flashed by looking through windows from Wilmington to Washington. After 2 million miles riding the rails, forging an image as the workers' friend, Joe Biden's about to reach his destination. Union Station's where Joe Biden's long journey to the White House began almost 50 years ago. But the days of Amtrak Joe are about to be suspended. He's trading up from train travel to the trappings of high office once he swears his oath this week.
I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear.
With his battered, centuries-old Bible, he's been centre stage on that special day in January twice before, in his 8 years as Barack Obama's offsider.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
And he was sinking into a quieter post-political career until race riots reared up in Virginia.
And what happened was quickly our granddaughters asked for a meeting. They came to see us, and grandson and said, "You got to run, Pop." And that's when we decided to run. But it's been a sense of obligation and wanting to live in the White House.
Family and faith have been forever entwined in the Biden story.
If in 6 months or so there's a conflict between my being a good father and being a good senator, which I hope will not occur, we can always get another senator, but they can't get another father.
When the young senator, aged 29, first arrived in Washington, he was grieving the deaths a month earlier of his wife and daughter killed in a road accident. Raising sons, Beau and Hunter himself, he contemplated quitting early, but stuck it out. Married teacher Jill 5 years later and kept rising through the political ranks, even taking 2 unsuccessful shots at the presidency. Former CIA Director and Defense Secretary Leon Panetta is a friend through 40 years.
He believes deeply in family, but more importantly, he believes deeply in personal relations. It is human relationships that determine whether or not you're going to be successful. And he is good at human relationships.
Now it's time to turn the page, as we've done throughout our history, to unite, to heal.
Healing, fixing and empathising were the core of his campaign pitch. Never easy to measure or deliver, and so much harder now. The trashing of the Capitol only exposed the enormity of that task.
Frankly, what happened is perhaps the most disturbing event impacting our democracy since the Civil War, if not before. He's going to face some serious challenges trying to bring this country together and unify the country so that we can deal with the challenges we're facing. That's going to be the biggest test for Joe Biden.
The Oval Office affords Joe Biden much power, but it's only as good as the judgment and temperament of the people inside it.
How are you?
He is not a natural confrontationist. He's a natural arm wrapper. and nothing he likes better than wrapping his arm around somebody's shoulders. He loves people, he loves embracing them, he loves embracing us.
Former Ambassador, now WA Governor, Kim Beazley's crossed paths with the President-designate for decades and reckons if anyone's got the skill set to meet the challenge of the times, he does.
He is the best prepared president the United States has had within living memory. He knows an encyclopedic amount about US government, about US political processes, about the totality of the US system.
America's abundant, raw-edged anger's only the start of Joe Biden's problems. Add to the list a vaccine rollout, pandemic death rates running at around 4,000 a day, and trillions of dollars worth of extra stimulus for an economy mired in recession.
More severe storms and droughts.
Plus, there's his commitment to clean up industry, roads and the climate.
It's already happening.
And that's only on the home front. Overseas, there's a trade war with China and a broader strategy to counter Beijing's conduct, not only directed against the US, but also its allies, including Australia.
I have no concern that the Biden administration is going to be soft on China. It's going to take a different approach than the Trump administration.
They treat Australia as a consulting partner. They expect from us ideas. So we are in pole position, and it's a situation our government needs to be sure it can take advantage of.
Mr Biden's no stranger to Australia, and in Leon Panetta's view, will probably be open to lifting the US military presence nearby.
We've got to show China that countries like Australia, the ASEAN countries, are unified on trade, on security issues, and that we represent an alliance that China is going to have to deal with.
When the moment does come, this week's inauguration will be as humble as any can be. No Trumpian-era bragging rights on crowd numbers. That was abandoned long ago. The 46th President's ceremony will be unlike any other, deliberately barren along the Mall. COVID safety's one reason, but so's security after the siege on the Hill. And in this time of greater vulnerability for America, there's also opportunity to seize the moment. If he's the savvy negotiator and consensus builder he's said to be, expect early, easy wins on his economic agenda. After all, he's got the gift of a Congress controlled by his party and riven Republicans worn down by the last 4 years and broken by the last few months. Greg Jennett, ABC News, Washington.